For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, 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 for the record.
But yeah, man, how'd you feel about it overall, man? Or you got any particular things that resonated with you?
Man, yeah, it had this little funny moments in it, but it was more of like a real talk love thing that he was doing, and he was basically saying, all his TV shows and stuff, how he didn't get money for it, and like uh, they still making money off of it. They like the minute he got the deal or all this other stuff, he was starting to get the accolades. They start shopping it to these other networks, and it's what it's on. I think he said what Hulu was it? No, HBO Max,
Yeah,
HBO
HBO
Max,
Max.
and Net. And then he just was able to go talk to Netflix, and just off the strength of what he's doing with Netflix, they were like, "Oh, this you don't feel this? Oh, we'll take it off," and just got it taken completely off. And he's asking everybody on here not to watch the show until like because of the deals that was worked out. And you know how he goes about it, man. Like he sets up perfectly on the way he's telling the story and how it loops back around at the end to whatever he was talking about at the beginning. It was similar to like how he did that what was the one we was talking about, the iceberg pimp, the iceberg slim, and he was talking about how that book
Yeah.
married with the career, and then bam, he brought it back at the end, and it's just like, oh, okay. So very similar in that fashion. He was saying like, "Hey, you work out this deal, and everybody in the room, you don't know if they on your team or not, and you think they on your team, but then you look around, they don't look nothing like you. So you don't know what other type of deal that they got working out, and lo and behold, yeah, it's the standard deal. That's not a good deal.
And it never really is, right, Prez? Like, you know what I mean? So like you said earlier, he slow rolled us through the entire story and looped it back in. So if you haven't watched it, spoiler alert, I'm about to go a little bit into detail. Not gonna tell the jokes. You gotta watch it for yourself to get the subtleties. But he started with the stolen joke as a young teenager that he got stolen from him when he was just starting out in comedy, and the guy was just borrowing it for one day. Then he came into the three-car Monty bit where he was just really speaking to the point of how you a man at that age, and he was a young man at the time, could kind of fool you into getting money, but you never come between a man and how he eats and how he lives. You know what I mean? And then he just kind of went further and further and further. But the thing I like about this, and I don't know if you draw this parallel, is a couple weeks ago, right, Prez? We were talking about Ye and him going on his rant on Twitter and just basically talking about a lot of the same things when you talk about contracts, right?
Yeah.
But he wasn't transparent like Dave was. He was like, yo, I was fucked up. I was about to have a baby. I'm 28. You know, I'm doing my thing. I'm barely making it in this industry. It may look like I am to everybody, but in all actuality, I got to get this bread.
Yeah.
But now I want to toss it back to you because we were talking about contracts not too long ago, and you was like, why would you sign that? Just get a lawyer. Just do this, as if it's that simple. So now that you heard his story, like, what do you have to say to that?
The game's messed up, man. It's definitely messed up. It ain't built to help you out. It's built to make them money, more and more money. And I think what Dave Chappelle's what was different about his situation from most was the game was like if you take like Seinfeld and stuff like this. Seinfeld like some kind of way still got all the rights to his, but nobody else does on all this other stuff, right? And then Dave Chappelle was set up to make this skit show, and he was getting paid that salary while the game changed halfway in between. And now they're making money off all these DVD, releasing the whole season and just making a ton of money. This is what Comedy Central has come up. Nobody was really watching Comedy Central at that time. Like you had a couple stand-ups and stuff on, but like it was just something else that you got on your cable package. It wasn't nothing that like it's not, oh, I want the Comedy Central package. Like let's not play like it was like that. You know what I mean? They started making their money off these DVD sales and they wasn't willing to throw him anything back off of it. And now to this day, where they even flipping it again, they still selling off these things, and it's just like I continue to work for the company, that I'm with now and stuff like this. So I'm constantly getting paid. So I feel rightfully due on all this. But this man worked for 3 years and they still eating off whatever he did for like 3, 4 years. And they're making new money off this same thing. And that's not right. We talk about it all the time in like uh any of the music or artists little realms and stuff like this, how they get messed over. That's why Prince had to like go the different route, and it's not many that worked out those deals correctly. You get what I'm saying? And same thing, the whole media change, and that's not worked in their contract originally. It's worked out for how they think the game is going at that particular time, and the companies continue to make money 50 years down the road off something that you did back then, and you're no longer on the payroll. And that part I can agree with. If I was working with a company and I built something, like more than likely I'm going to get some type of royalty, and I'm going to still be with the company. I'm constantly making money 20 years down the road. But the way that theirs is, it's like a work for hire. Like you get it and it's done, man. It's whatever you were saying was done.
And then on top of that, the funny thing about it was like HBO Max specifically, he walked into their office, pitched the show before he went to Netflix, and they was like, "What we need you here for?" So they didn't just say, "Go ahead, go on about your business. We good on your show. Nice pitch, but we'll call you later." They went on to insult him. You know what I mean? So when they did that, and now they were trying to stream it too, and I believe it may be still up on HBO Max. I don't have it, and I can't confirm it, but I'm pretty sure he went to HBO Max just like he went to Netflix, but he has a really fruitful relationship with Netflix. So he went there and said, "Hey, this hurt me. This makes me feel this way. Can you please take it down so that they don't make any money off of this?" And Netflix obliged. Like, I get the business. It's to make the most amount of money, and you're taking the risk as far as putting all this money into this person. And I get it. I get what you got to do. And I also get that people could say, "Hey, Dave, this is your fault. You signed this contract. Why didn't you get a lawyer? And why didn't you get that?" Like, people act like you can afford these high-priced lawyers when you fucked up, you in the hood, you coming from certain backgrounds. Like, that just doesn't happen. And then, like you said earlier, Press, all these people conspire together, these agents, these lawyers, and all these people. Everybody knows everybody. So the lawyer that you're trying to hire in LA or wherever it may be in cahoots with this company, not to get you the right deal, but to get you to sign this deal. So to say something to you to make you be like, "Hey, Dave, this is a good deal," or "Hey, rapper, this is a good deal." It's like all that shit going on, and you don't understand that legal mumbo jumbo in there. Like, you really, really, really got to hit the jackpot with people that care about you in terms of a lawyer or people with experience in the industry, or else you're gonna be fucked from years to come. I mean, look at this. It's Dave Chappelle. Look how much money he's made Netflix in the last couple years since he's been coming and giving us at least 1 or 2 specials per year. And they allow him to do shit on YouTube. He dropped this joint on Instagram TV.
Yeah, and what was the last one was 846, and that was what on YouTube. He just dropped randomly off like one of Netflix side little channels on YouTube. Like it's crazy. Hey, but like that's marketing. That's all marketing. That's all they looking at.
Yeah.
That next stand up about to do numbers.
Oh, it's crazy, yeah, because he done did about 24 minutes in comedy, and it's probably been the best comedy that we've seen in forever from any comedian. And half of it wasn't even funny. It was just conversation. typical
Yeah,
Dave
yeah,
Chappelle, man. Like,
yeah.
so I mean, yeah, y'all should go check this out, man. It's a great stand up. The correlations between slavery going from one plantation to the other, the thoughts of being trapped. I know a lot of black dudes that's in our position doing what we do in the military that feel the same way. Now, it's not entertainment, but you stick around because what else you got to go back to?
Yeah.
You deal with a lot of bullshit because you put this amount of years in. Might as well get this. You know what I mean? Might as well get this retirement. It's a lot of things I could relate to on a real level, but of course, this was entertainment, and we also decide contracts. We decide to re up. We decide to stick around, and everybody has their reasons for why they stick around.
Man, why you had to go and hurt me like that? Like bringing me into it. Like, man, yeah, you
I'm just
right.
saying,
Yeah,
like
that's a,
we all got our pressure points and things that
yeah.
go on in life to make us sign that deal, to make us go on that deployment if we're talking about us and Joe Schmo. So when you factor in all those different type of things, yeah, I can understand why Dave would sign that. I can understand why the rapper from Mobile, Alabama, who ain't got a pot to piss in, is gonna sign his name, and then next thing you know, he becomes the latest Master P. You know what I mean? That type of shit happens, but it is what it is. It's just a terrible business that you could be in when you're talking about this entertainment industry and how these contracts are designed to just be unfair from the jump.
Yeah, it's designed to make them money. I mean, let's not. It's designed to keep that entertainment industry flowing, and like they're gonna use your project to fund other projects. We know how it goes on all these things, but yeah, I mean, the as it changed, I feel like they should owe some type of royalty or something like this to the people. Very similar to how it is in music a little bit, which is still kind of messed up. But I mean, if you was like you own the masters and stuff, you getting royalty checks for years and years and years. I think like what's Daz, uh,
Oh,
like he's one of
Daz
the
and
ones still
corrupt.
get
Yep.
yeah, they still money off the Tupac thing because they own all that. So yeah, I mean, that's how it should work on these things, but it's not always that way. And this one where they threw out that number to us. We got to touch on one more thing. They threw out that number to us at $50 million, and like, oh, he turned down this $50 million. Not saying that they ain't never really paid him for what he already done and how he elevated them anyway. That 50 million should have just been a bonus, like any other job. Like they give these CEOs and nonsense bonuses just randomly all the time. So if they made 500 million, why they wouldn't throw him another 5 mil as a bonus or something like that? No, you got to sign this other contract. So I definitely see where he was going in on that right there. It's messed up in the first place. How about you pay me the money that you owe me, and then I'll go move forward into this next one? Maybe.
And then they also try to throw smut on his name by saying he was on drugs, crack, and drinking, and all these things. And in relation to him moving to Africa or just
Yeah.
visiting Africa to clear his mind, which was the running joke, so to speak. But what amazed me was after all of that, he was still willing to sit at a table with Comedy Central and just be like, "Hey, man, pay me." Like, that's it. Like, he still was willing to do that. And I thought that was that's rare, man. That's rare to get fucked
You,
like that and still be willing to
you
come to
know,
the table.
Another strong point that I think that he had is like he weathered through a lot of stuff, and like when he was coming back on those tours and stuff after doing the Dave Chappelle show, you heard him talking about it like before in like some of his old stand-ups where they just wanted him to do all, hey, say this, do that, and he never fell in that trap. To now, when you check for Dave Chappelle, ain't nobody asking that. They want to hear his new material. They ain't asking him to act like Tyrone Biggins or anything like that no more. All that said and done, he set a standard. He was like, I'm not gonna do this, and you're not gonna pigeonhole me into just that. I'm gonna keep hitting you with new material. You're gonna enjoy my new material, and it worked.
It
It worked.
sure did. It definitely worked. It definitely worked, man. But yeah, like we said again, check out Dave Chappelle's Unforgiven on Instagram TV. Go follow him. It's easy. Just Dave Chappelle. That's his handle, and you're guaranteed to love it, man. Like lot of real talk on there. A lot of real talk.